Yo, 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 it's your boy Indy coming at you with another video, guys. Today I'm about to go over, just going to talk about last month for a split second. I'm not really doing a recap of the last month, um, just because last month was, I only had one real play and I made an entire video about it. So you can kind of go check my last YouTube video. Um, it is. All right, so it's this video right here, DWalk. Last month I made $10,000, so all of it came from this one day trading this stock GBHL, which was a sympathy play off of DWAC. So if you're curious about last month, you can just watch that video. That's the only real thing that happened in the OTC market last month. Um, so the rest of this video is going to just kind of be about the state of the market. We're coming up on pretty important times, especially as far as OTC trading. So um, we're coming up on important times as far as OTC trading is concerned. So you can kind of see last year, December is when I started to get things consistent and when I started to pick up. In these 3 months, December of 2020, January of 2021, and February of 2021, were the hottest mark was the hottest market the stock market has ever seen. Just complete euphoria. Everything was going up, volume everywhere, whether it was the listed market or whether it was the OTC market. So, coming up on right now, when the market really started going in the end of February last year. So I'm kind of I'm looking at this chart, and this is kind of the stock TSMP, Tesoro Enterprises. This is the stock that launched the OTC market into its true momentum last year. You can kind of see this stock started running right around Thanksgiving during what they call Crack Week. Crack Week is like a very volatile holiday trading style type of week, and it's the week of Thanksgiving. So what you saw was this stock TSMP just started to go parabolic right around Thanksgiving time, and then it started to base out a little bit, and then it was just tradable all the way throughout February. I remember in the month of February specifically, I was rinse repeating trading TSMP for about $2,000 every single day because the liquidity was always there. It was gapping up every single day, and it was just super nice volume. So playing that along with all the other plays that it kind of brought into the market. So the question kind of becomes, are we going to see this type of a market again? And I don't think that we're going to see something quite like what we saw last year. Last winter was kind of crazy, but it is worth noting that December through February were the hottest times of the market. Um, and when the market does, something so vertical, um, it just makes sense why we've been in such a cold stretch in the OTC market. You look at most of the charts of most of the runners from last winter, they look absolutely the same. You had huge run ups in February, and then everything just tanks back down. Um, OTSC, same thing. You had a huge run up in February, everything just kind of tanks back down. Um, I could pretty much pull up any stock that I traded, full huge run up in the winter time, and then at the end of February everything just started to reverse, and then we kind of had a flat market March, April, and May, and then since June, so about 5 6 months now, we have been absolutely just in a bear OTC market. But it makes sense because the market was so hot at a time when it's usually a better market. So after that, naturally, you have to think that the market is going to recorrect itself, and that's what we've been seeing. So the idea is that even if, since I've developed my trading skills and developed, myself as a trader, the idea is that even if the market isn't as hot as, what it was, I can still make, a lot more money. Granted, I have more capital now for position sizes. I'm a better trader and stuff like that. So even if the market is just, even half of, what it was last year, I'll be able to see exponential growth in my account. So, if you're an OTC trader, if you've been following OTC trading, the months of December, January, February is where you want to really start to focus in. And hopefully we just start to see that volume start to pile back into the OTC market. Now, um, there's also a few things that happened last year that are not necessarily going to um, impact the market the way that we would like to see the market impacted. Granted, last year we were coming off of coronavirus, so a lot of people were making career switches into working in an office to working at home. So people are at home, they have more time to be able to trade and stuff like that during their work hours and when they're at home, time that they didn't otherwise have, when they're at work. Um, Also, people got a whole bunch of money from unemployment and stimulus checks, and it was something like, I think, 70-80% of, all the money that was brought in was spent in the overall stock market. Um, and at that time, sports weren't running, so there wasn't really any sports betting and things like that. So most all the money was just going flooding into the market, which is kind of why you saw this euphoria. Now, obviously, those things have kind of died down a little bit. They're not as fresh, but there is still more traders than ever in the overall market. So we're just kind of looking for things um, to heat back up. But even if they don't, there's more activity, there's more attention on the stock market. There's more people that realize, hey, Corona could shut things down. Anything could shut down your job and stuff like that. So it's important to have, multiple streams of income, or to be, investing your money in other vehicles rather than just working at your job. So that's a plus, right? Um, and there's another few things that are worth noting about last year. Um, so last year you had the crypto run last year in the wintertime. You kind of see same thing December through this kept running up until April, and you saw huge plays in the OTC market. Companies coming out with PRs that are related to Bitcoin and stuff like that, and just action that was absolutely crazy. And then what you saw was during the summer, Bitcoin retraced. It lost 50% of its alpha, and went back down to 30,000, and now it's right back up towards all time highs. So it's I think it's pretty good that while we're coming up on the winter market, um, December, January, February, March type of action, I think it's a good sign that Bitcoin is also towards its highs. So you can maybe we'll start to see some crypto plays show up in the OTC market and things like that. Um, Another thing, I mean, this is the thing that I'm most excited about is, for the first time, Republicans have introduced a bill to decriminalize marijuana on the federal level. So, I mean, marijuana has always been something that is very Democrat backed. So it's nice that there's as a Republican, as a lady out of South Carolina. I think her name is Nancy. I think, yeah, Nancy Mace out of South Carolina, representative, who basically brought this bill into Congress, and they're pushing for a bill that's going to legalize marijuana. Um, so what you don't know is, or what you might not know is, when Joe Biden got elected, you started to see crazy type of price action in marijuana stocks, just complete vertical action. This stock coming from 15 cents to $1.50. I can think of December. Yeah, Joe Biden elected. This stock going from 002 all the way to 4 cents. I'll just show you guys a couple more. No, it's not that one. OTC names. ERBB, right when Biden gets elected, the stock goes from about 002 to 2 cents. And then there is one more I'll show you, ERBB. So just the same kind of action, like these stocks are just going absolutely crazy when Biden got elected. So the thing that's worth noticing about that is that the weed market has had, a few runs that are kind of like this. I know back in 2018 it had one. When Biden got elected, it had one. But these these runs weren't based on anything that was actually fundamental. And now for the first time, we're looking at a shot, and I think that it has to happen in Joe Biden's presidency that, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year, next year, the year after, whatever. But for the first time, it looks like they might actually pass this on the federal level. So my thesis is that if these companies and stuff like that can get that type of momentum and action and percent gains just off of Joe Biden getting elected because he's a president that supports drugs like weed and shrooms and stuff like that, then how much greater is the price actually going to be if this thing actually gets legalized on the federal level? So my plan is to kind of wait for that, see when it starts to happen, and take some swings on some of these stocks, and they're making 2, 3, 4, 5, 600% gains in a week. So how much more if that actually gets elected? Around last year, you saw a run come in from Tesla, and Tesla started going crazy in the wintertime. Tesla started going crazy in the wintertime. Hold on 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So what I was saying was the Tesla started running last winter. You can kind of see this action right here. Really started getting parabolic around November, all the way through February. And what that did was provided a bunch of plays in electric vehicle stocks, green energy stocks, clean energy stocks. And, what do you see now? You see around wintertime now, this November, Tesla's starting to go parabolic again. It's trending. It's at all-time highs again. So I'm looking for that to also be another reason why, we start to see some good action this winter. And going back to crypto, you also have NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, the Metaverse. You saw that Mark Zuckerberg just kind of came out and chased his company to Meta, saying he's going to be creating the Metaverse, which is just going to be, like an entire digital world where people can interact digitally, move around digitally, buy things, socialize, all digitally. So even now, like what you're starting to see is, companies coming out and putting out PRs, press releases, and news catalysts about Metaverse. So Bitcoin continues to go. The Metaverse NFTs, those are all derivatives of crypto. So if Bitcoin continues to go, you might see a boom in these sectors. So what we're really looking for is a high OTC market with lots of volume, some sympathies off of things like the weed bill passing, electric vehicle stocks, clean energy stocks, and also NFTs, the Metaverse, really all of crypto together. There's a good chance that all this can kind of come together at once, which would be really cool to see. So, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for. And, my plan is that if the OTC market is weak this winter, then I'm going to start transitioning into listed stocks and be trading listed stocks, primarily from the short side. So we'll kind of see. Hopefully I don't have to do that and I can build up, a bunch of capital this winter. And then still the plan is to move into listed stocks, and so I can trade both listed and OTC. But I would rather do that in like spring, summer type of time and just really capitalize on OTC. But if OTC doesn't show up this winter, then probably sometime in January, I'll be looking to expand my skill sets into listed stocks. Again, primarily from the short side. So, that's what I'm looking for this winter. And, I'm just hoping that, some of this stuff, comes true and works out. So.